Hello. The name of the Rosado wine you can see in front of me is Yumi, but you can't in fact see a great deal of Rosado wine in it. The reason for that is because I decided that it would be very nice to match this with a vegetarian dish that we had the other night, and very nice it actually proved to be, so nice that we finished the bottle. Don't worry, I was making my notes when I was finishing it, so it's not coming off the top of my head. And in fact we really were delighted with it. I don't know about you, but when I'm pairing wines, yes, there are various different flavour and aroma characteristics in the wine and the food that I like to pair together, but you know, quite successful sometimes is the idea of pairing some of the colours. Now, we were having a vegetarian dish, and the principal ingredient in that was in actual fact red lentils. Red lentils? Well, they're not that dark red, the ones we were using anyway, and in fact those go rather nicely with the colour of this particular rosé wine. Well, this particular rosé wine, it's been finished. Never mind, you'll be able to buy some, I'm sure. All the details will be on the here, but also in the article I'll be writing about this particular bodega. What about this bodega? Well, it's called Celler Alimara. I'm just going to check on that as well. Celler Alimara, and it's a bit of a combination, really. We've got some Scots, I think, from the name anyway. Certainly English as well, and so let's say British, shall we? Be on the safe side. We've also got Spanish and Cataluñan. Let's be on the safe side there as well, because we've got a bit of influence there as well, and certainly an influence because the bodega is based in Cataluña. Now, if you're thinking about wine producing areas in Cataluña, you will probably come straight away to the idea of Dio Cava, most famous of course. Then we've got, well, I'm not saying this is less famous, we've got Priorat, fantastic red wines in Priorat. We've got Montsant, which is, if you could say, a little bit of an area, well it is, very, very close to Priorat, so therefore some of the characteristics, some similarities between those wines. And we've got Dio Penedès as well. But also, and probably not so well known, we've got Dio Terra Alta. This is rubbing shoulders with some of the big boys, but it's doing pretty well as well. It's got some previous. It was declared a Dio in, I think, 1972. And in the 90s, the Consejo Regulador, the people who actually arranged the quality and all the rules, etc., the organisation of the Dio, decided that they wanted to up the ante in terms of the quality so that they could start to speak about Dio Terra Alta in the same glowing terms as those around them. I think they're doing a pretty good job. If the wines that I've been tasting from this particular Celler Alimara are anything to go by, I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah, it's a rosé wine, and the vines are about 20 years old. They're Garnacha. Now, I know that many of you will know that as Grenache. Those people who are, like myself, big fans of Spanish wine will know that Grenache is in actual fact a Spanish grape variety called Garnacha, but in various different parts of the world, including France, of course, it's called Grenache. 20-year-old wine. They're not that old, and this gives us some sort of idea as to the vitality of the wine that we actually get. It's a bit of a cheeky wine, you know. It's a wine that's going to really please. It's going to please those people who are serious wine drinkers, those people who are also casual. So the experienced wine drinker and the casual wine drinker are going to be pleased with this particular wine. The ground in which the wine comes from, well, it's called Yumi. Now, I'm told from, I don't speak Catalan, but I'm told that that means match. And in actual fact, I think it's pretty good because in some ways this particular wine matches the area in which the vines grow. It's grown on calcareous soil. It's got quite a lot of limestone, but it hasn't got much organic matter at all for the nutrients. So therefore, the vine's roots have to dig pretty deep to be able to find some nutrients, and that's why we get a certain amount of minerality in this wine, and so a certain amount of terroir. And this is really the philosophy of the bodega. They want their wines to reflect the grape variety, but also the terroir in which the vines grow. And I think they're doing a pretty good job. As I said before, we tasted this wine with a vegetarian dish. Principal ingredient was red lentils. Various other vegetarian well, vegetables in there as well. But also I can see this matching trout. I think it would be pretty good. You know, I was talking about before about pairing sometimes the colour of the wine, those shades of the wine, with some of the shades and the colours in the dish as well. I know, when we want to talk about pairing a wine, we think of the aroma and flavour characteristics, the profiles, but also I think sometimes it can be successful when we're talking about the colours. So look at some trout with this, and I think that would be particularly nice. Salmon, of course, as well. Maybe some crab dishes, a little bit of seafood. Now, we always talk about fruit. What do we actually get in this? I'm getting a little bit of strawberry, perhaps underripe strawberry, nothing wrong with that. But I'm also getting on the nose immediately, when I first opened the bottle anyway, which of course is all gone now, but I did make my notes as I say. I get some actually very interesting Granada. Now I'm just going to look at my book here, because I always forget the English word for Granada. Granada, of course, is a famous and ancient city, but it's actually the name in the Spanish name for pomegranate. Yeah, you get some pomegranates on the nose here, and a little touch of quite fruity cranberry as well. So those light red fruits are combining with the soils and with the terroir, with the minerality, to give us a really lovely and a very fresh, certainly very dry Rosado wine. I really recommend it, and I've tasted a red from this bodega, from the same particular wine. There are two wines, and I've tasted I've actually got just to my left of the screen here, I've got a glass of the white as well, and I'll make another video maybe a little bit later about that as well. Really good wines. Look out for them.